Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now we got heavyweight news, right? You know, got something to talk about, right? Hey, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, or you gotta say it like this now. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is confirmed from the WBC president. It's gonna be on December the 19th, right? Providing, pandemic. That can happen. Now they're talking about it could be in February because of the pandemic. That's why dates are not so, not so important right now. We don't know if we're going to really get these dates. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I keep saying that. But it's confirmed. It's going to happen. Wilder versus Fury in December, right? Right? Another fight that's going to happen. AJ versus Pulev towards the end of the year, right? Then they were talking a couple of days ago about an 8-man tournament, right? Because it was like, I don't forget to, you got AJ versus Pulev, that's one match. Then you got Wilder versus Fury, that's the other one. Then you got Usyk versus Chisora, that's the other one. Then you got Dillian White versus Povetkin. An 8-man tournament, and at the end we're gonna get undisputed. I read that, I had to laugh because it ain't, I don't pay attention too much. First of all, we ain't having no 8-man tournament without Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz in it. First and second of all, Dillian White should be fighting Hunter and not uh, Povetkin. He got enough chances, right? And I don't think this will be an 8-man tournament without Joseph Parker in it either. That's why. So whatever. But I mean, okay, theoretically, if we can have an undisputed in about a year or so, right? But it should just happen. The winner of Wilder and them and Fury and the winner of AJ Pulev fight, and we got undisputed, and then the rest of them could come. But what we're hearing now is the WBC has said, hey, Dillian White, he gets the winner of Wilder versus Fury. Now, y'all don't have to hear that here. I mean, Dillian White, as a mandatory when he didn't want to fight Ortiz, we can keep talking about that all day. If the WBC just gonna go like that, then whatever, man, whatever. If you're gonna let him ignore you guys when you mandate him to fight somebody. The WBC always mandating somebody to fight somebody and they ignore them. Here's a couple examples. Gennady Golovkin ignored their mandate to fight Charlo. Canelo Alvarez ignored their mandate to fight Charlo. Ignored it. Just we bit too big. You ain't mandating us to do nothing, right? And Dillian White ignored their mandate to fight Ortiz. And all the ones that ignored their mandate are privileged. So whatever with that. Let me tell y'all something. Bottom line here. I know it's gonna be pessimistic. Get the thumbs ready to put them down because it's pessimistic. Wild and Fury ain't happening, and AJ and Pulev ain't happening either. That's what's gonna happen. Neither one of them happened, and it ain't got nothing to do with the pandemic. They're not happening. That's what I think just by judging. I'm gonna tell you two different reasons. Let's start with AJ and Pulev. AJ is similar to Canelo and similar to Golovkin, to a lesser extent also Pacquiao. They fight primarily in front of crowds that love them, which means every action they do. They've always heard jabs, straight right hands anyway, but jabs, avoiding punches, throwing punches that won't land. They all get cheered. I don't think with this pandemic and fighting without crowds, I don't think AJ's gonna fight no Pulev without no crowd. I just don't think so. I would be surprised if that happened. And I would come in here and tell you that I said I didn't think it was gonna happen. For that reason. That's why Canelo's still not having an opponent. Because it has to be somebody way worse than him. That he can beat them without crowd screaming. I know people like that don't mean it means everything, right? Because you're gonna sit back and watch. People know who won them fights right now. You can't, as a judge, you can't hide behind, oh, the crowd was there and I thought he hit him. No, you're judging the fight with silence, which means you're judging the fight. You can't come out of there like that. Those big stars, those coddled ones, the AJs, the Canelos and Golovkins of the world, that's not what they like. That's what Golovkin's hell bent on fighting Zimmeretta with 5 knockouts because he's gonna be able to walk him down, right, and look cool doing it. Right? He ain't fighting nobody hard. Canelo isn't either. You'll see. I know you don't like me for saying it, but it's the truth. You'll see. Anthony Joshua ain't fighting no damn Pulev without no crowd. I don't see that happening. That's why that's not happening. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury or Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is not happening, right? And I don't want it to happen. But it's not going to happen because there's some other stuff going on there and there's some other worldly type stuff going on there. And the cover up is absolutely ridiculous. And I know a lot of people say, well, Deontay Wilder wants to get back and stuff. Well, maybe he does want to get back. You know what I mean? Maybe he does want to get back. I'm gonna be honest. As a consumer, I don't want Deontay Wilder to fight Tyson Fury. I don't want him to fight Tyson Fury without an investigation first, right? I would rather justice than Deontay Wilder come and beat this guy up. I would rather justice. I know, I'd rather, man, come knock him out, man. He gonna fight you with some gloves like that and this and that. Go knock him out. Nope. I'd rather justice. I'd rather the law to come in and say, hey, this is ridiculous. Somebody is getting trouble here. Because that's what we got the law for. If we're gonna be ignoring it because we want to, then that's what anarchy is. That's what a dictatorship is. Just like Trump. I don't want Trump to lose in November. I'd rather him get taken out of the White House with handcuffs because he's a criminal. Right? There's too much criminal activity. Everybody around him is a criminal, and we're just ignoring it because some people are just so racist that they don't care. Flynn, Stone, Pompeo is acting a damn fool. Lindsey Graham that would help with the Ukraine scandal, and so did Cruz or Nunez, and they still in office and stuff like that. Those are criminals. You know, criminals. And white collar crime is not good because it's white collar. It's worse. They costing you money. And what people think about America the world over, right? So if taxes come out, been lying about them too with the Deutsche Bank and all that stuff that's been going on. There's some stuff, big time stuff going on. I'd rather that to happen than him just losing the election. Because you can say, man, I didn't lose it. No. For the crimes that you committed, you have to pay. Like a guy who robs the liquor store. Or we don't need no damn laws. Because laws mean for people that are not wealthy. That's what they're for. They don't really apply to us. That's what's happening now. So I would rather that. Handcuffs. That's what I would rather. Or we find out that he's innocent of everything. One of the two. Same thing with Tyson Fury. You ain't had no fight. You going to jail. Or you getting suspended for years. Or you're going to be innocent. One or the other. Not no in-between stuff. That's my point there. So I don't think Tyson Fury and Wilder is happening. Neither do I think AJ and Pulev is happening. I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings and bad, stuff like that. But that's what I personally think. That's why I'm not hyped about either one of those fights. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.